Hello, everybody. I'm so excited because I'm with my dear friend Martha, and Martha owns La Look Boutique, and I just had to ask her questions about how she got into this. So, hi, Martha. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am so good. I wanted to ask you about how you got started because I've known you, I don't know how many years now, 6 or 7 or whatever, but I don't know how you started this. What made you decide to do this?
Wow, it started at such a young age. I was probably, I don't know, maybe 12, and
Wow.
I started I always had Barbies, so I always was redoing Barbie's hair. I had the big Barbie head, so I would
Oh,
always
yeah.
put makeup on her, do her hair, and the big thing was that I loved doing makeovers. So my mom would tell me that we would have company, and it didn't matter if they were a man or a woman, that I would ask them if I could do a makeover on them. And I would take them up to my little room where I had my setup. And I even had like scarves and hats, wigs, and I would do makeovers.
Oh my gosh.
Started at a very young age.
That is so great. So when your first salon, how many years ago was that?
So I basically started, I worked at other facilities, other salons, and then I started a distribution business out of my basement.
Oh my
So
gosh.
that's when I started doing the Big line that I import.
Yeah.
And I was selling out of my basement pretty much, distributing to different salons. And I would go into a salon and set them up in skincare and makeup. So
So
if they carried anything or did any facials or makeup, I would get them started.
oh my gosh. Okay, so that line, what's special about it is it's plant-based, right? There's no
Yes,
testing on animals. I know how you love animals.
I do. I'm a big animal activist.
Yeah.
So Vegeji was really one of the first companies in the world to be plant-based, and they've been around 75 years. So way before all the companies now that are, plant-based, natural, holistic, Vegeji was on the cutting edge 75 years ago.
But so that's one of my favorite things about you is that you're cutting edge and you tend to have the newest of everything. If somebody's got a product line out and they're brand new, you've got it in there as long as follows those, it has to meet
Right.
those requirements of yours, I
Yeah.
know. And
Mhm.
so can you tell us about some of the cool stuff you have? Because I know
Sure.
I'm every time I walk through the door, I'm just like, what's that? What's that? I'm like a 2-year-old asking questions.
Yeah, very different, unique products, but they're safe. They're, not tested on animals. A lot of it is vegan, gluten free, no toxins. I have an autoimmune issue. So that started back in 2007. And that's when I really started to change um, my way of using, products because I had to be careful with my autoimmune issue.
Right. So
So
even the makeup too, right? Like
yes,
even that
ev-
stuff.
everything that comes through La Look is tested through me. So if it passes me, if I'm not allergic to it, if I'm good with it, then it goes on the shelf.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I know that there's always something that I've never seen before. And then
Mhm.
you'll show me how it works. And of
Right.
course, then if you do it on me, it's like perfect. And I go home and I'm like, what am I doing? But but you're really good with your clients. And if I ask you a question and say, Martha, how do I work this? Or how does this, whatever, you always respond. So I feel like people can walk through the door and get a very personal experience. I mean, was that always a goal for you
Yeah,
or
I hope so. Compliment for me because that is my goal. And I do have clients say that they feel very comfortable with me or they've never done a facial and they would allow me to do a facial on them
yes.
because
Yes.
they've never, felt comfortable going somewhere.
Yeah,
So
I
that
like the
feels
the fact that you've done so many facials. I mean, this is a long time you've been doing this, that there's no judgment. So, I
right.
mean, I feel like I could come in with, a wart hanging off my face and you would just be like, "All right, let's deal with this."
Right.
You would just
No,
yeah. So you come in and I mean, a face is very personal. So
It
somebody
is.
offers you their face and you take such
Mhm.
good care of it. Um, and do you find yourself recommending things for people, or do they come in knowing exactly what they want? How does that work?
I say 90% of the time they want to know what I would suggest. There are times someone will come in and, know specifically what they'd like, but most likely they will want me to guide them and show them the path, of skincare, facials, advanced treatments. So I do believe that they look to me for consultation.
Yeah. So you really, it feels like a holistic approach because I know you have clients that you do body work with as well, right?
Yeah.
So
So
whole
yeah,
head to
I
toe.
I do like fitness and nutritional coaching. So a client will come in and maybe they'd like to lose weight. So I guide them on the right path. I'll set them on a program, and then we come together again like in 6 to 8 weeks, and then maybe tweak the program. But I get them going. I set them up, and then we regroup.
And what's nice about that is you are in good shape. You know, you have a body most people would say, "Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that." Um, so it for me, it's always nice when, somebody does your face and their skin looks good. And you go, "Okay, I'd like that." You don't want to go to the person for hair and that has hair that's like,
True, true.
so
Right. And, it's everything goes hand in hand. So, you can do all the facial you want, but if you're not doing things internally and taking care of yourself and eating right and working out, nothing's going to work correctly. So
so
everything is, a system
yeah.
working side out.
I think as a person who I'm a client, but I also feel like we're friends.
Right.
I feel very taken care of when I walk through your doors, and
Oh,
I
that's
know
awesome.
I could be on the table and go, I don't know what's wrong. You tell me, and I totally
Right.
trust. I think that's so valuable to be able to be trust that person that's got your face in their hands. So
True. Thank you.
yeah. So is there anything else you want people to know about you? If you just could tell them anything about walking into La Look and meeting you and working with you, what would you say?
Well, my passion definitely is helping other women feel better about themselves, feeling more confident. And I feel like when they come in and they get a service, they feel so good about themselves, and they go out and feel more confident. So that's always been my goal. And I appreciate that, they are into the skincare. Like they'll come back and be like, oh my gosh, I love this Big Edgy. I love what you put me on. I'm ready to do the next step, maybe some makeup. And then it just goes from there, and they have more confidence. So
Yeah.
that is like that is my goal, to make that happen.
I love the layered approach where it keeps building and building,
It
and
does.
ultimately it makes you
Mhm.
feel beautiful inside and out.
Right. And that's the main goal, like just to make all females feel good about themselves, and not feel uncomfortable coming in.
That's beautiful. Well, I just want to say to anybody who's watching this that if you're in good hands, if Martha is handling your face,
Uh,
and I hope
yeah.
you go through the doors in La Look and just walk out feeling even more beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'll stop that right there.